Blackout Beats.
Hello, all you awesome people out there. Welcome back to Geek Business Entertainment. And we have returned with a brand new episode. We are back with a brand new news drop. Hold on, man. Okay, was a little off right there. All right, we are back with a brand new episode of News Drop. This is episode 53, I want to say. Hope y'all can hear the garbage truck that's outside right now. Everything decides just to come alive right as I start recording for some reason. But anyway, we are back with the brand new news drop. We haven't had one in a while because Summer Games Fest went down, and basically all the video game news was coming out of there. So I decided just to give it a little break for a little bit. But we are back here to talk about mostly stories here at the end of June of 2025. So that's what we're going to be covering here. And we got a little bit of stuff to talk about here. Not a ton, but a little bit here. We, of course, as always, on our film side, we're going to talk about this weekend's box office results. We're also going to talk about Vin Diesel maybe teasing a surprising return for the next Fast and Furious movie. We got some updates. Our first big update on the Batman 2. We got some casting updates on that Street Fighter movie. And finally, something brand new in my radar. We have the nominations for the of an award show that I'm completely unfamiliar with. And then on the video game side, we've got news that a possible new Ghost Recon is returning. We got some news on a Bandai Namco Direct coming later this week. We also have another tip about what could be coming for Assassin's Creed. EA just announced a massive new sports title. And then, of course, we got some news about some delistings for Netflix's video game library there. And then on the TV side, honestly, there's not a ton of TV news going out here. We got some renews we'll talk about. We've got some brand new things coming from the Duffer Bros. We got our first inclination of when the nominees for the Emmys will be coming out. And then we got a cancellation as well. And a big, surprising, shocking revelation coming out of the Simpsons season finale recently. So that is what we are all going to be going over here today. And then, of course, as you already know, at the very end for the YouTube side, we're going to go through and watch some trailers. So that's everything we're going to be diving into in this edition of News Drop. Before we get started, I will ask that if you like what I'm doing over here, check out the channel, check out the podcast. I got a bunch of news drops from previous years going over there. I think this year is the first one. Actually, last year, a little later last year, is the first one we started doing the video ones. And before that, they're all audio. So feel free to pop on over to the podcast, check those out. A lot of news stories, a lot of other stuff too, as well. But enough of this yap. Well, I can't say not enough yapping. We got a lot more yapping here to do. Maybe get 2 hours worth. But enough of me with the pre-roll. Let's go ahead and just jump right into this news, shall we? All right, first up, we have our box office results. F1 zooms to 55.6 million, 144 million globally, while Megan 2.0 bombs with just 10 million in the U.S. start. The Formula One racing pick starring Brad Pitt is the first major theatrical win for Apple original films. Had no trouble chopping the tarts, while Megan sequel went up in flames. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not surprised. We've watched the Megan trailers, and I don't know what the fuck this movie was supposed to be. And it seemed like it didn't connect. But let's talk about F1 for a little bit here. So Apple Original Films critically F1 the movie set off to the races. The Formula One movie, which teams up Top Gun Maverick filmmaker with Brad Pitt, zoomed to an impressive 55.6 million opening in North America. The first major theatrical win for Apple Original Films. WB is distributing the summer tentpole on behalf of Apple, the two companies sharing marketing duties. Overseas, it clocked at 88.4 million for a worldwide start of 144 million. To supplement World War Z and rank as the top global finish of Pitt's multi-decade career, not adjusted for inflation. Kayla, I'm a little surprised. I guess I shouldn't be. I was definitely not interested in this movie. I'm not interested in a racing movie. But hey, apparently there's a big market for it here, and I have heard good things about it. Like in terms of just like as a movie, I've been saying that it's really good. F1 has a huge advantage in having a lock on IMAX screens until Superman opens on July 11th. That is a big leg up on the competition. So it gets so it also has a lot of screens it plays on. Then, um, let's see. So we're just talking about Apple. We're just talking about the impressive movie. F1 the movie puts the pedal to the metal and impressive open performance for this original summer movie that had one of the most comprehensive and exciting marketing blitzes in recent memory, says chief Comscore analyst Paul Darabedian. Darabedian, Darabedian, which is cool. And again, I can't even hate. It is a completely original movie. It's not a sequel. It's not a prequel. It's not a reboot. It's a completely original movie. So the fact that it is winning, I will give respect to that. The film also stars Damson Idris. It's a sentimental moment for Apple as it tries to jumpstart its theatrical ambitions after getting driven off the road with big budget misses like Killers of the Flower Moon for Martin Scorsese and Ridley Scott's Napoleon. I remember Napoleon. I remember Killers of the Flower Moon too. I didn't know that was an Apple thing, but also didn't know that that was a disappointment because it was in a lot of award seasons at the end of that year. Director Joseph Kanoski's pick boasts near perfect exit poll stars from the audience and A cinema scores and strong reviews. Like I said, that's what I've been hearing. I've been hearing that it is actually a really good movie, despite the subject matter, which again, like I said, does not interest me. But I have heard that it is just a good movie overall. One formidable challenge, F1 cost a net 200 million to produce before marketing, if not closer to 300 million. So it will need legs to turn a profit at the box office. But at the same time, Apple, like other tech giants, making a foray into entertainment has an entirely different business model than a legacy Hollywood studio. Yeah, they got a lot more money. They got a lot more money. They got a lot more avenues they can make money in. The movie just doesn't have to make money for them to be successful. They got a shit ton of other avenues with it being Apple. Okay, we're just talking about the movie. Taking on from the one is a bold move since it has never been the marquee spot in the U.S. That it is overseas. That makes sense. That makes sense. In 2013, the wheels flew off of Ron Howard's F1 movie Rush, which topped out at 26.9 million and 97 million globally. F1 is also pacing well ahead of the racing pick Ford versus Ferrari. I remember that one too. Biographical action drama set against the backdrop of Europe's famous Le Mans endurance contest that star Matt Damon and Christian Bale. So it's already outpacing past racing movies that have opened recently. So that's really good. All right, let's move on to something else. Let's see. Draw dropping ticket sales for the appeal screen. Okay, let's talk about the downside of this weekend. Elsewhere, Bloomhouse at Atomic Monsters horror pick Megan 2.0 flamed out with an estimated domestic opening of only 10.2 million, only good enough for fourth place. Oh wow. The Universal release had been forecast to a $20 million debut, which would still have been 10 million less than the first film's 30 million record launch in January 2023, on its way to earning 117.7 million domestically and 226 million globally. Things went south in a major way when it limped to 3.4 million on its opening day, including 1.5 million in previews. The Pix's global start was an equally disappointing 17.2 million. The sequel cost a modest 25 million to produce before marketing, but that's still more than double of Mega's minuscule $12 million budget. Jason Blum's Bloomhouse, which has suffered a string of misses this year, and James Wan's Atomic Monster reteamed to make the follow-up. They hoped the movie would serve as counter programming for younger women who have little interest in F1. I mean, that's a good plan to go on. That's a good initial idea. I'll agree. While Mega 2.0 skewed 50% female, simply not enough for the target audience showed up. Some have groused that the character has turned too Terminator-like, while the story overall is more sci-fi than horror. Even though in a twist, cinema score is actually higher than the first one. But that's what I was saying. I was like, I don't know. I feel like they just went full on balls to the walls and just threw everything at the wall for this movie, and might have kind of lost what I guess made the first movie. Even the first movie, I felt like really almost succeeded because of TikTok. I'm not gonna lie. Like in the trailer, she had that little fucking. Let me see if I can find it. Actually, she had that little fucking random ass dance in that first movie, and that kind of became a viral hit on TikTok. And I think that's why I blew up so much. The one thing about having your fucking VPN and your ad blocker on is that for some reason everything decides it wants to work slower. They're trying to fucking, they're trying to psyop me into turning it off, but I'm not doing it. Whatever. We'll keep going. So the movie is set 2 years after the AI doll went on a motor spree to protect her young human and was subsequently shelved. Her creator, the aunt of the young girl, now a high-profile author and advocate for government oversight of AI. But when another AI creature emerges that is even more dangerous, Megan is resurrected and mayhem ensues. The director Gerald Johnstone returned to direct the sequel from a story he wrote alongside Alyssa Cooper, based on characters created by Cooper and Wan. So yeah, so it didn't work out. I don't know. I wonder what, like for one thing, like I will say, the fucking trailer really kind of shows that the whole damn thing kind of went weird and did its own thing, and it became more of like a sci-fi action thing than a horror thing. So maybe that kind of turned a lot of people off. I mentioned that the TikTok thing probably was a big thing for that first one. People probably just saw the TikTok clip when the first one came out. It was like, oh, this is part of a movie. I'll go check it out. And then and then the fact that this one didn't have that probably also played a role in it as well. So I mean, I applaud them for the whole put it up against F1 because it's counter programming and you're kind of going for two different audiences, but clearly that shit didn't work. The weekend was at a total wash for Universal. Its live action How to Kill Your Dragon cleared 200 million model mark, 200 million dollar mark domestically, and 454 million globally in its third weekend. I didn't even know this was out. I ain't gonna lie to you. Pixar Disney's troubled summer epic event Elio tumbled as much as 49 to 50% in its second weekend to an estimated total of 10.7 million for a 10-day domestic total of 42.2 million. Can't lie, I kind of saw this coming. I don't know, it just it didn't seem like a big enough animated movie to really kind of probably move the needle. Which sucks because also it's coming right off of Moana 2. So they hold that thing. Which you think it might. I also feel like they maybe didn't get as large for marketing as it probably could have as well. Especially because the fact that we're now in summer. Kids are on summer break. Maybe want to go see a movie, but maybe that plays a role too. Kids are on summer break, so now people can't. I don't know. I don't know what I'm trying to say. Elio came in third domestically, followed by Mega 2.0 and Sony's 28 Years Later, which likewise fell off sharply in its second weekend to an estimated 9.7 for a 10-day total of 50.3 million. The zombie pick earned $100 million mark worldwide, something the 28 Days didn't achieve, although the first movie was much more of an indie film, true. Like Universal, Disney wasn't entirely bereft as summer live action hit Lilo and Stitch achieved a massive feat over the weekend, crossing 400 million domestically and 946 million globally. Only the second Hollywood movie to do so, behind Minecraft movie. Man, it's so weird. You get something like F1, which tops it, being a. I feel like it's a very niche kind of movie, especially we've seen they had the results for last racing movies. Racing movies tend to not do so well. Apple movies tend to not do so well, but this one is very succeeded. Megan 2 is a big downgrade from the first one in terms of reception. An original brand new movie like Elio fails to take off, yet just a live action remake of Lilo and Stitch, which already exists, takes off massively. It's it's a very strange sort of flip. What makes you wonder, movie going really seems like it's in a. And we talked about this last year in my best, worst, and most disappointing of the year. How the movie theater is a bit on a big decline. Clearly, though some movies are doing better than most, some not so much. But it definitely deserves to be studied. It seems like it's just you got to do more to get the audience to buy a ticket and then go out and see it, especially when movies are coming to streaming so quickly now. It kind of makes you determine if it's like what's even worth going out to see when you could just wait a little while and stay home and then rent it that way. So it's a very interesting case study that I feel like, very interested to learn more about that. But anyway, that's the box office results for the weekend. Moving on to our next story. Vin Diesel teases Paul Walker's character could return for Fast and Furious 11 and confirms a April 2027 release. We are reuniting Dom and Brian O'Connor. Granted, this is Vin Diesel, so kind of take it with a grain of salt because, he promises a lot of things and sometimes they don't always happen. Also, how the hell are they going to make this happen? giving him his goodbye in what I don't even remember what Fast and Furious it was when Paul Walker's death happened while they were filming one of the Fast and Furious movies, and the hassle and the large hurdle they had to go over to finish the movie without him to give him that goodbye. How the hell are they going to bring him back for something? All right, so Vin Diesel is promising a major return for Fast and Furious 11 on Saturday night. Diesel joined his Fast and Furious co-stars Tyrese and Cody Walker at Fuel Fest, a car enthusiast event in Sonoma, California. During his brief appearance, Diesel told a crowd of fans what to expect from the final Fast and Furious film. Okay, I didn't know this next one was the last one, which I guess makes a little bit more sense. It makes sense. It would be an idea on the table to bring them back if it's the last one because again it started with the two of them. So if this next movie is gonna be the final one, I understand the sentiment of going. It's the last Fast and the Furious movie. I think bringing back what's his character's name, Brian, bringing back his character is an idea just to have on the table. I understand that this being the last one. He also confirmed a tentative release window of April 2027. The studio said to me, Vin, can we please have the finale of the Fast and Furious in April 2027? Diesel said, I said, I try to talk like Vin Diesel, under three conditions. First is to bring the franchise back to LA. The second thing was to return the car culture. The car culture? That was return to car culture, to street racing. And the third was reuniting Dom and Brian O'Connor. It's unclear what Diesel meant when suggesting that Paul Walker's cop turned street racer could return for the series. Of course, Paul Walker died in a car crash at age 40 in 2013. So if he were to star in the final Fast and Furious, he would need to be digitally inserted. Which probably I think would also be a whole thing of having to get the permission from his estate and his family if they could use his likeness. And shit, now that I say that, it also might even open up a whole nother can of worms because if they say yes, one of the top things they do to do that is going to be AI. Some AI shit, which again is going to open up a whole nother can of worms of having AI digitally insert somebody even though they're passed away, and even if they got permission from the I literally just said the word and I'm spaced on it now. From his estate to use it, it kind of opens up a can of worms about what the powers of AI could do. Because now studios will be like, "Oh shit, Fast and Furious did it. They brought Paul Walker back to put him in the movie. So who knows? Maybe we could do something with somebody." It's a weird thing. That's another kind of can of worms that you'd have to open up on this. But the latest film in the franchise, Fast X, was released in 2013. It grossed $700 million worldwide. At the end of its colossal production budget of $340 million. God damn. And then we all know all the people. It is unclear if Fast 11 will actually continue the story of Fast X after the long delay. And the film was advertised as the first part of a two-part saga upon its release. So it was supposed to be two parts. They said after a long delay, it's only been fucking 2 years. It'll only be 3 years between that one and this one. That's not. I feel like that's not a long delay. I feel like that's about an average you get between sequels. Maybe that's just me. All right, so we'll see. We'll have to wait and see once things start actually moving. Oh, I'm sorry. It was 2027, so it is gonna be like 4 years between the two. Which I don't know. I still feel like calling it a lengthy gap isn't really like. I don't know. Maybe it's just weird. Maybe because I ain't into Fast and Furious like that. But anyway, we'll have to see what becomes of this whole thing of his ultimatum to Universal, that having Brian and Dom back together, and what that means and how they go about doing it, even if it does end up being a thing for it. So we'll have to see. All right, we got news from the next Batman movie. Matt Reeves completes the Batman 2 script. Matt Reeves and Matt Tom have completed the script for the Batman 2 more than 3 years after the first film starred Robert Pattinson. So, now this is going to be like a lengthy wait. Because it's already been 3 years. The script just got done. I think the thing has already been delayed to like 2028 or something. So that's a lengthy wait between the two movies. You know, that'd be like fucking what six? That'd be like what 7 years. The pair shared a blurred black and white photo of the script with the bat on the cover, which under which the fuzzy title seems to say "The Batman Part 2." Reed's captioned the post with the collab shared with co-writer Tomlin. Partners in crime, fighters. He also tweeted a photo and tagged Tomlin. The caption clearly alludes to Robin, who did not appear in the first film. Does it? I just kind of interpreted it as him and Tomlin partnering up to finish the script. But okay, I guess. The sequel was first announced in April 2022 on the heels of the first movies of in March 4th theatrical run, which also starred, of course, Colin Farrell, Zoe Kravitz, Jeffrey Wright, John Turturro, Paul Dano, and Andy Serkis. The news of the script's completion comes just ahead of the arrival of James Gunn and Peter Safran's Superman, which will herald the new DC universe. Gunn responded to fans' complaint online of the delay of the script, telling them to be patient in different words. Listen, we're supposed to get a script in June, he told Entertainment Weekly. I hope that happens. We feel really good about it. Matt's excited. I talk to Matt all the time. I'm totally excited about it. We can't wait to read the scripts, but we haven't read it yet, if that's your question. People should get off Matt's nuts. Get off his dick, because it's like let the guy write the screenplay and the amount of time he needs to write it. That's just the way it is. He doesn't owe you something because you like his movie. I mean, you like his movie because of Matt. So let Matt do his thing. Better than saying leave him the fuck alone. Let the man work. It's gonna take time. Let him finish it. He can take as long as he needs to get it done. Leave him the fuck alone. Hop off his dick. Stop turning tricks on him and shit. All right. So the Batman will arrive. So it's 2027. Okay, that's what it is. The Batman Part 2 arriving then is October 1st, 2027. The first one made $369 million domestically and $772 million worldwide. And then it also spun off to Penguin, which was one of HBO Max's top shows. You see, I viewed it as like him saying the two of them are partners in crime fighting, and crime fighting because they run the script. But I don't know. We'll see. Y'all think Robin could work in the Batman sequel? Because the Batman was really damn good, and I feel like maybe it's because we haven't seen Robin work in the live action movies so far. Because I mean, it was Batman Forever, which was a sequel to Batman and Robin that sort of led to the Batman movies' decline until Batman Begins revived it. And with this whole new, like, more realistic, grounded and gritty style, y'all think a Robin could work? I mean, I'm pretty sure it could work. I guess I'm more asking, what do you think the interpretation of Robin could be in this movie? Also, okay, wait, actually, I just thought of something really good here. They say it could be alluding to Robin, but isn't the Batman that's supposed to be within James Gunn's new DC universe supposed to be like the Brave and the Bold Batman, and that one is supposed to involve Robin and more of the Bat family? Because the best thing about the Batman movie, the first one, was the fact that it was so much of it was just Bruce as Batman. We got nearly no Bruce Wayne in that movie, like, at all. Like, it was just like, what, two prominent scenes with him as Bruce? It was the funeral, and there was one more. I can't remember what it was, but there was one more. I think like was his meeting with Selena, or the first time he was tailing Selena or something. But yeah, he was barely Bruce Wayne in there. He was mostly Batman. And him being, alone and working with Jim. Though the relationship could work because him working with Jim Gordon worked, so him having a partner could work. But I feel like, well, it depends on if they're trying to tell an origin story. Because I feel like in order to sort of tell the story of how Bruce goes about recruiting Robin and bringing him into the fold and trading him, a lot of that would have to have him being Bruce as opposed to Batman. So I don't know. I'm interested to see how an interpretation of Robin couldn't work. And like the top of my mind is clearly like Damian Wayne Robin. Not to say like a Dick Grayson or a Jason Todd, or I always forget the other one's name. I can't remember the third Robin. I always remember his name. Tim Drake. Is that his name? Just seeing how they work. But anywho, enough Batman news. Let's move on. Curtis 50 Cent Jackson joins Jason Momoa and Noah Centineo. Centineo. Is it Tenio or Tenio? Tenio, whatever. In Street Fighter. Andrew Koji and Orville Peck are also already on the call sheet on the adaptation of the Capcom game. Curtis 50 Cent Jackson is taking it to the street. The rapper turned actor and entrepreneur has joined the eclectic cast of Street Fighter, Legendary Entertainment's feature adaptation of the classic Capcom game. And what a diverse bunch it is. The call sheets range from A-listers Jason Momoa as Blanca, heartthrob Noah Centineo as Kid, to gay country singer Orville Peck as Vega. Joe Anoa'i, aka WWE superstar Roman Reigns, and martial artist Andrew Koji are on the roll call as battler Akuma and lead character Ryu. Okay, last time we spoke, they were just the top names. Last time we went over this, these were just the names that they had in mind to cast for them, but we didn't know their characters the last time I did a story on this. So this is news to me as to who the characters they're playing is. So Jason Momoa as Blanca, Noah Centineo as Ken. I don't even know who this is. Is Google working? Because Google didn't work here. But what the hell? Is my internet? Hold on. Okay, we're back. Yeah, slightly my internet, slightly not. Yeah, just because you don't want to run ad space on your shit, Google fucking hates you. So your shit just ain't loading. So we're just finna go through the story without shit. So yeah, so like I said, Roman Reigns has been casted as Akuma, which I didn't know. Andrew Koji has been casted as Ryu, and I did see this. This happened last time, but Kalina Kalina. Why the fuck does it keep doing this? Kalina Liang is been casted as Chung Li. Jackson will be playing Balrog, a disgraced boxer who is also the bodyguard of the villain. Sources say he is deep into training for the part and will be doing his own stunts. So I hope it works out for you there, 50 Cent. Kitao Sakurai is directing the feature, which begins production in August in Australia. Legendary is co-developing and co-producing alongside Capcom. And we don't know. I don't know how I feel about this. 50 Cent has acted before. He actually has quite I don't want to say, he has quite a decent acting profile to his name. Only issue is it doesn't make him a good one. I'll say that. Now it does seem like he's playing kind of more of a lower tier character. So I'm kind of not upset about that. God damn it! See, this is why I don't like the fact of this shit, because I also seen something. We'll try and see if it is. Also seen something that Andrew Schultz, that comedian, the supposed comedian, was also cast in Street Fighter. He's supposed to be playing. I suppose Street Fight. He's supposed to be playing. What the hell is his name? The joke character guy. Dan. I saw that too. I don't know how true it was, but I did see that floating around. Can't check the validity of it because Google fucking hates me right now because I have a fucking ad blocker and VPN on, but whatever. So I did see that. I haven't seen anything official, but I have saw that floating around. But yeah, he's playing he's basically playing a goon character, so I guess that's why they got him. But still, 50 Cent isn't the best actor, so we'll have to see. It does seem like I will say, it seems like they're between the 50 Cent, Joanna Hawaii, and Schultz. It seems like they're doing a mix of like big names that will just draw people in because of the name involved. They're also getting big star-studded names: Jason Momoa, Noah Centineo, and then also kind of getting more lesser-known actors. So it's a good blend of stuff of people they're casting in this movie. Names to bring people in just for the sake of names. big actors for bringing in for talent, names to bring in from other media, just so they can have some people, some name recognition in it, some familiar faces to bring in more casual people, and then just kind of, and also injecting a small mix of smaller names that you may be bringing in for the fit for the character. So we'll see. We'll keep an eye on this one. We'll see how this movie goes. Of course, when the first trailer drops, we are definitely going to check it out. They said filming starts in August, right? You know what they said? Yeah, filming starts in August, so probably by the fall of the year, we're more than likely going to get our first little teaser trailer of it. So we'll definitely be checking that out when it drops. Keep an eye on this. Also, it's one of our cross promotions. It is a movie based off a game, so it is going to have to be something we specifically on Geek Visions Me keeps a specific eye on. All right, and for our final movie news, we have Sinners and the Studio among nominations for Location Managers Guild International Awards. Never knew this was a thing. I saw this on the studio. I was like, they have award ceremonies for location managers. What? So it's yeah, another one of those things that I'm glad I'm doing this the way I'm doing it now as opposed to I did it before. Because before I would have never did this. I wouldn't have copied down the information to regurgitate it in the booth, aka my closet. But now that we're doing this on the computer and we're doing it live, I can actually bring it up and talk about it. So, Sinners, Conclave, The Day of the Jackal, and The Studio among the movies and television shows nominated for the Location Managers Guild International Awards. This is the 12th annual LMGI Awards, are set for August 23rd and will be presented at the Eli and Edith Broad Stage in Santa Monica, California. It honors outstanding and creative visual contributions by location professionals in film, television commercials, and film commissions from around the globe. So I'm glad they got it. It continues to show recognition for other aspects of filmmaking, except for the usual, directors, actors, writers, and all that stuff. So that's really cool. Welcomes a record number of submissions from around the world, each uniquely demonstrating how locations enrich the art of filmmaking. So, standing location in a contemporary. What could be the best picture award for an award show like this? Outstanding locations in a contemporary feature. You have Honora, A Real Pain, Conclave, Mission Impossible, Twisters. Outstanding locations in a period feature. The Apprentice, A Complete Unknown, Fly Me to the Moon, Gladiator 2, I'm Still Here, Sinners. Location in a contemporary TV series. Day of the Jackal, Landsman, The Last of Us, Mobland, Slow Horses in the Studio. Period piece in television, 1923, Dark Winds, Godfather of Harlem, Hotel Portofino, 100 Years of Solitude, and The Walking Dead, Daryl Dixon. The Walking Dead, Daryl Dixon is a period piece? I guess. I guess Futures would still be a period piece. I'm so used to period piece meaning in the past. Because typically when you think of future, you're jumping into sci-fi territory, I guess. But I'm sure, I guess. Locations in an anthology. What's a Mo? I can't even Google it. What's a Mo? Mo in filmmaking. Mo in film. Movie of the week or a TV movie. Okay. Adolescence, American Primeval, Dope Thief. I still need to watch that. Locker By, The Penguin, White Lotus, and then outstanding commercials. National Guards and Common Calling, Diablo 4, The Vessel of Hatred. That's cool. Lilo and Stitch Super Bowl commercial, Orient Express, Travel Artisan, Stella Artois, David and Dave. Outstanding film commissions. The British Film Columbia Film Commission for The Last of Us, Toronto for The Handmaid's Tale, Egypt for Fountain of Youth, New Orleans for Sinners, Montana in 1923, and Jersey for A Complete Unknown. So that's what I'm saying. I never knew this was a thing. So again, I said it before, but it's really dope that they have award recognitions for some of the lesser known, some of the more under the line positions for film, because a talent scout is a vital position in filmmaking. You got to have things that fit the film. interesting locations to shoot in that look nice that you can work around. So that's really cool. I like that. So this is news to me. This is the first time I'm discovering this awards. We'll see. Hopefully I can. Hopefully it pops back up when the winners come around. It's gonna be in August, so I'm not gonna lie. I'm probably gonna forget about this by the time August rolls around. I just start uh, getting um, a document for award dates so we can go over winners. Actually, I'm gonna mark that down right now. Because we did another one a while ago. There was another. I had to look at some of my old episodes because there was another award show about something very interesting that I didn't know that was a thing. Was it like for children's programming or something? I don't know. But anywho, that is it for film. Let's now move onwards to, of course, video games. All right. First up, we've got exclusive from Inside Gaming here. The next mainline Ghost Recon game is heading to internal alpha later this year. Insider Gaming has learned that the next mainline Ghost Recon game, codename OVR, will be going into eternal alpha later this year. According to several, according to several sources, the game will enter eternal alpha in fall 2026 as Ubisoft sets new internal milestones for its major projects following the announcement that it will delay its major IPs. Ghost Recon, codename Over, is expected to launch sometime in 2026, with sources indicating that an internal alpha to final release could take around 12 months. So, in theory, the next Ghost Recon game could launch sometime in fall 2026. For context, the Prince of Persia: Sands of Time remake, codename Rewind, entered its internal alpha in June 2025, and it's forecasted to release before March 31st of next year. In a report from March 2024, Insider Gaming exclusively reported that the next mainline Ghost Recon game will take a more military simulation approach with a first-person perspective and a focus on fictional Naiman War. Naiman War? What does that mean? Well, it says it's fictional, so I don't know what the hell that means. Footage was sent to Insider Gaming under the condition that they will not be made public. It shows the game somewhat similar to the Modern Warfare series or something akin to the tactical shooter Ready or Not. As for when Ubisoft will officially unveil the game, that is unclear, but sources within Ubisoft believe that the company is likely to keep it under wraps for the next 12 months, returning next year with a massive Ubisoft Forward event. That makes sense. That being said, Ubisoft still has several games and DLCs releases planned for the next 12 months, including a remake of Prince of Persia: Sands of Time and a director's cut of Avatar under the codename Neptune. Director's cut of Avatar. I mean, that fucking whack-ass Frontiers of Pandora game? Who fucking wants that? A director's cut. Like that's gonna make it better. So, for any Ghost Recon fans, just know the next one is on the way. When did the last one come out? What was the last one? Badlands? Wasn't that the last one? And I remember that one was like trash. Oh, Breakpoint, was that the last one? That one released in 2019, so it's been a while. Okay, yeah, and then Wildlands was 17. I confused two different titles, but yeah, Breakpoint was the last one. That was 2019, so it's been quite a bit. It's been about 5-6 years since the last one. So hey, there you go. More, we got Ghost Recon, but still no news on Splinter Cell. So there you go. All right, next up, we've got Bandai Namco teases a new My Hero Academia game as it confirms a summer showcase this week. Worldwide game reveal is set to launch during the live stream. A new My Hero game is on the way. We learned the news during Bandai Namco's brief teaser for its upcoming summer showcase. And while the details were light as for now, we can expect more when the showcase goes live on July 2nd. That's in like 2 days. So that'll be on Wednesday. I will of course be at work, but we might have a little reaction thing to it. Depends on what's shown off. My Hero Academia debuted in 2016 and became an instant hit, telling the story of the I don't know what that is. In the same 30-second teaser, Bandai Namco also revealed that we're set to get a new trailer for Toa and the Guardians of the Sacred Tree and a gameplay deep dive for Digimon Story Time Stranger. That's not all. It also appeared our Code Vein 2, Blood of the Dawnmarker. That's a big one. Death Note Killer Within. Nobody cares. Hot Shots, Everybody Golfs. Again, nobody cares. Little Nightmares 3. That's a pretty big one. Patapon 1 and 2 Replay. Okay. Shadow Labyrinth. Super Robot Wars. is that Wars Y or is that Warzy? And Tekken 8. We had a good look at Blood of the Dawn Walker quite recently. Yeah, we did, of course. Rebel Wolves, a studio led by former Witcher 3 game director and co-director for Cyberpunk 2077, Conrad Tomaskiewicz. I'm just calling him Tomas. Conrad Tomas. Confirmed its upcoming fantasy game release in 2026 and shared new gameplay footage earlier in the month. Bandai Namco went big on Little Things last week to confirm Little Nightmares 3 release on October 10th. And if that seems far away, anyone who pre-orders a digital version of Little Nightmares 3 between now and launch day will get to revisit the game that started it all with Little Nightmares Enhanced Edition as an early title. So that's cool. So we got a Bandai Namco thing coming in about 2 days. So coming on Wednesday, they'll have a thing. I might record a little reaction, look over it. Granted, I'm not too excited. Nothing they named here really has me too excited. I don't really mess with too many games here. I am going to try to get into the Digimon story games. I know one is super cheap on Steam right now. And I think another one is free on PlayStation Plus that I added to my library. So I can try one or two out. So we'll see. All right. But yeah, that's it for that. So get ready for that. Next up, we got some news. Assassin's Creed Black Flag voice actor teases a previously reported remake. Evidence continues to mount that suggests Ubisoft is working on an improved version of the 2013 game. The voice actor behind the main character in Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag seemingly seems to be teasing something. Many people assume it's the previously reported remake of the beloved pirate-themed Assassin's Creed sequel released back in 2013. On June 29th, a video was posted online showing Matt Ryan, the actor who voiced Black Flag's protagonist Edward Kenway, talking to a fan and then signing some pictures. In a short clip posted first on TikTok, Ryan starts chatting with the Assassin's Creed fan and is curious if the fan has beaten that particular game. Have you beaten Black Flag? Ryan asks in the clip. The fan says they have, but it was a while ago. To that, Ryan responded, well, you might have to beat it again. Nodding and knowingly and smiles. Get out of here. Is this true? I run through all of them again, the fan says. Well, especially this one, Ryan said in response. That's the reason I say that, but I can't say anything. Yo, can we get a remake of fucking 2, though? So yeah, it seems like Ryan teasing something about Black Flag. Now, it could be a comic, maybe a new novel, or perhaps some special update that's coming to Assassin's Creed Shadows that will contain some Black Flag-themed content, but it seems odd that the voice actor for Kenway would have insider knowledge of all that stuff, or would tease something, or would tease it like this. More likely, this is Ryan teasing about the rumored, reported, still in development Black Flag remake. Kotaku has reached to Ubisoft for comment, and they probably haven't reached back. So yeah, this has been stewing for a while. There were reports a while ago that said that Ubisoft might be doing a Black Flag remake. So let's see. Let's check out the clip here. Let me turn my sound on.
Great, priming them and everything. Right, quote in white.
Please?
You help make a soldier out of a scoundrel. Have you beaten the game?
I have a while ago. It's been a minute, but
Well, you might have to beat it again.
this is true. I gotta run through all of them again.
But especially this one. There's a reason I say that, but I can't say anything.
Now, just wait a goddamn minute. I said the name. It seemed familiar. But it didn't dawn on me. I couldn't tell because he was kind of looking down and the goddamn fedora is distracting. I did not know. Fucking Matt Ryan. Matt Ryan had played Constantine and all of the DC stuff. That the fucking picture is right there, Louvre. The picture is right fucking there. That is just dawning on me. I did not know this nigga would voice him in the Assassin's Creed. That's kind of crazy. So all right, so more smoke on that fire. So it could possibly be true. It might be true. I know a lot of people loved Assassin's Creed 4. I was done with Assassin's Creed by this time. Like I said, 3 was the last one I played. Haven't really played any since. I played Origins because it was either super cheap or it was free on PlayStation. I played it. I didn't pay too much attention to it. I played it just to kind of just play it. You know, wasn't really giving it too much because again I got it for cheap or free. I can't remember which one. Um, I liked it. I didn't love it. I didn't hate it. Didn't dislike it. It was a game. I kind of enjoyed it. The story was alright. But yeah, I just haven't really messed with Assassin's Creed since. I mean, if they make a motherfucking remake of Assassin's Creed 2, though, I will be there. Because that was my shit. Alright, next up, sports news. For all the real hardcore gamers out there. EA Sports announces a return of college basketball. If my shit was working, I'd actually see if I could pull up the actual fucking, like, announcement or website. EA Sports is bringing back college basketball video game. In a post on social media, EA Sports announced a return to the sport with a simple message. It'll probably put it. Bring the madness, the post said. Let's run it back. As far as when the first college basketball games, as far as when the first college basketball game since 2009 will release, Matt Brown of Extra Points reports that the first game should come in 28-29 season. That lines up with what Insider Gaming has heard upon talking to sources. Regarding the NCAA, Brown says the NCAA will participate in the game as a licensed partner, but the game won't be called NCAA basketball. The working title mentioned in the paperwork I expect was EA Sports College Basketball, he said. As of late December 2024, I have been told from multiple sources that there were plenty of discussions within EA Sports and 2K for that matter about a college basketball game. At the time, it was unknown how far along talks were, but there were groups pushing heavily for it. What do you think about the return? So yeah, big return. I'm guessing with the massive success of college football, EA decided to pivot into college basketball. Of course, EA does have a partnership license with the NBA for the NBA Live games. It's just they have not worked out very well. Recently, the NBA Live title has really been in the dirt. It's been in the mud for years now. NBA Take-Two and 2K, NBA 2K series has been the one that's been taken off and selling and has become the prominent basketball simulation title on the market. So maybe EA can have some success with this. It does make me wonder though, if this works. First of all, let's go to the positive side of it, okay? If college basketball works, will it equal two things? One, will this revitalize EA in their basketball license to come back and actually do something with the live title and actually make it fucking good? First and foremost, that's my first thought. Because then you could do like what they do for college basketball and Madden, which EA wants to do because EA is all about their money. You package both of them together. You can make your character in college basketball, and then you could import that character into NBA Live and continue the story from there. Or on that same vein, do they, maybe because they did say that there were conversations that involved 2K as well, do they maybe have some sort of symbiotic relationship going on? And you could do that same thing, but you can do it for the next NBA 2K title. Which if this thing releases in the 28-29 season, it would probably be like NBA 2K30. You might be able to do that for the first time with. But it's just a suggestion. It's just a suggestion. I can see that working. But on the negative aspect of course, if this does take off and this does become a massive seller for EA, this will unfortunately just give them more volition to not focus on anything else but fucking sports games for the foreseeable future. I think I mentioned this before. I wanted to do a video because there was a big report that came out on the development of Dragon Age: The Veilguard. I wanted to do a video, but then I felt like it kind of became too late and it was kind of old news, so I just kind of didn't do it. But my whole thing was I could see EA sort of going the route of Take-Two Interactive, or even Ubisoft in a way with their split thing, like Ubisoft little baby parent company that they have with Tencent that has the big titles, but Ubisoft retains the more lesser known titles. I can see EA mostly only focusing on their money makers, their big movers, the ones that sell units. So Madden, FIFA, college football, and then unfortunately what also might end up being college basketball. I could see them only doing those. And then having, I would hope the positive would be that they would just make smaller teams with a smaller budget to do the non-sports titles, instead of just like completely axing them out. But we'll have to wait and see. And then of course that would just play into the entire discourse that you motherfuckers do not actually buy games if they don't involve a fucking ball or a goddamn gun in it. You motherfuckers will not touch it. And I already know. I can't even make this a fucking prediction. When we get to, I'm gonna have to remember this. You know what? Hold on. I'm finna. Okay, I had to make a little notes document, but I got notes of some dates and some shit. I will have to remember. So yeah, I wrote down the fact that in 2028 or 2029, college basketball is going to be one of the highest selling games of the fucking year. Just to point that out and remember that, and to point out that a lot of you motherfuckers is frauds. All right, for our last video, also a bunch of dates I need to remember too. All right, for our final story on the video game front, Netflix is delisting over 20 games from its mobile library next month, including Hades and Death's Door. Actually, this is one of the ones I kind of got to zoom in for. Hold on. There we go. How'd that look? Yeah, that's cool. All right, as spotted by Engadget, Netflix is removing over 20 games from its mobile library next month. On July 15th, 22 titles which require a Netflix subscription to play will exit the service. Some games, such as Hades, are only available on mobile devices through Netflix, so it's unclear if they'll become available on other mobile storefronts. Although July 15th is a removal date, some titles will disappear before then. Hades is exiting on July 1st. Here's a full list of the games. Battleship, Braid, Carmen Sandiego, Coco Melon, Death's Door, Diner Out, Dumb Ways to Die, Ghost Detective, Hades, Katana Zero, Lego Legacy, Ludo King, Monument Valley, all 3 titles, Rainbow Six Small? Rainbow Six, I don't know what that means. Raji, SpongeBob, Bobble Pup, what? Ted Tumbleweeds, The Case of the Golden Idol, The Rise of the Golden Idol, and Vineyard Valley. So if you have these games and you got them through Netflix library, just know that they are going to go away. The entire mobile library consists of 114 games, which means roughly 20% of the library is disappearing. While this is the first time games have been delisted from the mobile library, these removals come as some question Netflix's game's long-term future. Hasn't this been it says right here. Last October, Netflix shut down its game development studio in SoCal, leading to the departure of several high-profile talent only a few months after the company expressed optimism about its gaming division. In January, the company canceled plans to bring previously announced titles to the service, including Thirsty Suitors, The Tale of Two Strides, a Lord of the Rings game, and Don't Starve Together. In February, Netflix laid off staff at Oxenfree developer Night School Studio, which it acquired in 2021. The streaming giant has even scaled back on interactive programming, removing such shows as Black Mirror, Bandersnatch. So if you got these games through Netflix, just know they are getting delisted, and also I'm gonna tell you right now, it's probably a good idea probably just to cancel that, because there's probably a good chance that Netflix is just gonna dump this library in total at some point. So there you go, just a little forewarning for anybody out there. All right, and that is it for video games. Of course, now we move on to television, and I'm gonna be honest, ain't a lot of TV news out there. So I'm gonna go through this pretty quick. Mobland has been renewed for season 2 on Paramount Plus. Tom Hardy, Helen Mirren, and Pierce Brosnan are all set to return. Jordan King, of course. Mobland is getting a season 2 just 3 weeks after the first season of Paramount Plus's Tom Hardy, Mellon, and Brosnan-led gangster drama ended its run quite literally on a knife's edge. The streamer took to its social channels to confirm that fixer Harry D'Souza and his crime family associates will return to our screens for more shady dealings in the lands of mobs. Check out the Instagram review below. So yeah, so I apologize to my headphone users out there. I didn't know it was gonna be like that. But yeah, so they posted that the season is gonna return for season 2, so there you go. Let's see. Anything important to bring out? Won the battle, but will they win the war? Reason teasing tagline attached to the new season's announcement. There's no prizes for guessing who they in question refers to. Season one's explosive finale. The Beast in Me saw the Harringans put their feud with the Stevenses to blood-soaked bed, leaving Kevin, the head of the Harrigan family. Conrad and Mev off the hook and out of the slammer after having been framed for a crime they didn't commit. Spoilers, by the way. I don't care. I don't watch this shit. Set the stage for the Harringans. I keep remembering to say the Harringtons. The Harringans' conquest of the criminal underworld to potentially go global in season 2. Somebody got stabbed, but one thing at a time. Let's face it. We got typical Jordan King isms in there. TV was a brand new world for me and I was reluctant to commit to TV overall. But Chris, David, and the teams at Paramount and one of those studios completely changed our perspective with their bold creative vision and razor-sharp strategic insight, said co-writer Jez Butterworth in a statement accompanying the show's renewal. Collaborating with Chris, David, Guy, and our stellar cast has been nothing short of inspiring, and I'm excited to dive into the second season of Mobland. So yeah, so if you're a fan of Mobland, just know there is a season 2 coming. So yeah, good for them. That Harvey Guillén and Brenda Song are set to announce this year's Emmy nominations on July 15th. Let me, where the fuck is my phone? Oh, let me mark that down too. Emmy nominations coming on the 15th. All right, so so stars Harry Guillén and Brenda Song have been tapped to announce this year's Emmy nominations on Tuesday, July 15th. The ceremony will live stream from the Academy's Wolf Theater on Emmy.com/nominations. Should we do this? Should this be one of our first streams where I stream? Not that it really matters. I ain't gonna know shit they talking about. Chris Abrigo is set to join Guillén and Song at the nomination announcement. This year's submissions reflect the remarkable talent, innovation, and breadth that define our industry. Great storytelling depends on the collaboration, dedication, and vision of so many across our creative community. I'm thrilled to welcome Brenda and Harvey to help us honor the nominees and kick off what promises to be an unforgettable Emmy celebration. In 2025, the Emmy received a total of 228 submissions across drama, comedy, limited, or anthologies across the 15 program categories. There are exactly 600 total series in contention. These year's nominations round voting took place between June 12th and June 23rd. They're just talking about who they are. And then, okay, we gotta write this down too. The Emmy Awards, hosted by Nate Bargatze. No, because the A is before the T. Bargatze. Well, September 14th. He means September 14th. Okay. And that's going to be on CBS as well as streaming on Paramount Plus as well. So, of course, we are going to be talking about the nominees as well. Fingers crossed that Paradise finds itself across a plethora of nominations on there. All right, and then we got some cancellations here. Grosse Pointe Garden Society has been canceled at NBC after one season. Has explored, then ultimately opted against continuing with the show on Peacock. So it's not even coming to Peacock. Oh my god. Y'all ready to see my skills? Alright. NBC, that works. NBC is disbanding the Grosse Pointe Garden Society. The network has canceled the first year series, which comes from in-house studio Universal TV and creators Jenna Bans and Bill Krebs. The decision comes 5 weeks after the show aired its first season, now series finale. The delayed decision was in part to NBC Universal exploring a potential move to Peacock for the show. A deal didn't come together, however, and that led to the end of the series. The series stars Anna Sophia Robb, Melissa Fumero, Ben Rappaport, and agent Naomi King as four members of a garden club in a titular Detroit suburb whose lives become intertwined by scandal and a shared secret. A murder none of them wants to discuss. Matthew Davis, Alexander Hodge, Nancy Travis, and Felix Wolf also star. It premiered in February, paired with Suits LA. Damn, both the shows. I see, Suits LA didn't get canceled. It's just been one of the worst shows of this year, I remember. on NBC's Post Football Sunday Night. It underperformed there, as also did. Okay, so it is canceled. They mentioned it right there, as did the canceled Suits LA. Yeah, so both of them. So both of them didn't work out in the end, prompting a move to Friday nights in early April, which is a death sentence, by the way. If y'all don't know, if a show gets moved to Fridays, it is not. It's not meant to succeed. Friday night is pretty much universally known as to be the TV death slot, because typically people are not inside watching TV on Friday nights. They're out, or they're doing something, or things like that. Although the show's audience grew some after the move, it averaged 202 million for the season in Nielsen's 7-day linear ratings, making it NBC's least watched regular series in the measure. Streaming figures for the show weren't immediately available, but the show did not make the list of the 112 broadcast, cable, and streaming series that averaged 5 million viewers or more during the season. With the cancellation of Grosse Pointe Society, only one rookie series scripted from the recently with the cancellation, only one rookie scripted series from the recently concluded season, ABC's Dr. Odyssey remains in limbo. ABC said it's having conversations with creator and executive producer Ryan Murphy about a possible second season. So, yeah, rest in peace to the Garden Point Society. I really only knew about it because Melissa Fumero was in it. And, I know her from Brooklyn Nine-Nine. That whole thing of me loving the show, and I tend to follow the actors after it's done. All right, I will not. In bigger news, Duffer Brothers developing the savage noble death of Babs Dion. Silently Dion in Netflix with Joshua Murr and Rob Curry. Oh shit, this again. Alright, Netflix gears up for the conclusion of hit series Stranger Things later this year. Matt and Ross Duffer are eyeing their next project. The Duffer Brothers are developing the Ron Curry novel The Savage Noble Deaths of Babs Dion at the streamer, with the author and his writing partner Joshua Murr set to pen the series and executive produce. The crime thriller centers on Babs Dion, a proud Franco-American, doting grandmother and vicious crime matriarch who rules her small town of Waterville, Maine with an iron fist. No. I don't know. A crime family in Maine, I'm already uninterested. She controls the flow of drugs into Little Canada with the help of her loyal lieutenant's girlfriend since they were teenagers and her eldest daughter, Lori, a Marine vet struggling with addiction. Wait, is that two different characters or is that one character? She controls the flow of drugs into Little Canada with the help of her loyal lieutenants, girlfriends since they were teenagers, and her eldest daughter, Lori. That's a long ass run on sentence there. I think it's like her loyal lieutenants, girlfriends, and her eldest daughter, Lori. Okay, yeah. When a drug kingpin discovers that his numbers are down in the upper northeast, he sends a malevolent force known as the Man to investigate. At the same time, Babs' youngest daughter's sister's gone missing, which doesn't seem at all like a coincidence. In 24 hours, she will be found dead, and the whole town will seek shelter from Babs' wrath. Haha, I told y'all good code. I can read that shit. The Penguin Random 11... What? The Penguin Random House title was released in late March and has made multiple Best of 2025 lists, including NPR, Amazon, Apple. That book just came out this year, and it already has a fucking deal to be made into a show. That's wild. Up for the twins is the release of the fifth and final season of of course, Stranger Things having the final season late this year. Stranger Things, wait, what? There's also the animated series Stranger Things Tales from '85 that exists within the Stranger Things universe, currently in development. I did not know that. And the live action spin-off of the Mothership series in the works. What the fuck is that? They're just saying the Stranger Things is in the works. Okay. Additionally, they produced the supernatural mystery of The Burrows with Jeffrey Addis and Will Matthews. That's slated to premiere in 2026. That has Alfred Melinda, Gina Davis, Alfred Woodward, goddamn, and Dennis O'Hare. That's a hell of a cast. The Duffer Brothers also executive produced Harvey Z. Boston's new psychological horror Netflix series. Something Very Bad is going to happen, starring Camilla Morani and Adam DeMarco, and that's coming in 2026. Duffer Brothers getting busy, got a lot of work lined up there. So good for them. So we know what's happening next for the Duffer Brothers. They got quite a laundry list there. All right, next up, just something a little talk about because TV news is kind of slow. The Simpsons producer says episode featuring death of a key character is not canon, as the show doesn't even have canon. The Simpsons executive producer Matt Selman has said that a recent episode of the animated series that showcased the aftermath of the key character's demise should not be considered canon, as the show actually has no canon. Indeed, Selman stated that the events of Simpsons season 36 finale episode A Stranger Things will likely never be referenced again. So spoiler alert, Simpsons fans were left stunned with a recent flash forward episode. You know, those episodes where they go into the future to look at sort of the life of a character in the future. A Stranger Things that took the unprecedented step of featuring the events that follow the deaths of a core family member, Marge Simpson. Damn. The Simpsons has a loose floating timeline that has aired multiple flash forward episodes over the years, some of which now contradict each other as the show's decade-long run has continued. That's very true. I can remember a plethora of Simpsons episodes that involved a look in the future, and they never really seemed to like say anything. I mean, in terms of like it was the canon or the main timeline of the show, they never have any implications of anything. They seem to just be kind of just fun little like what if stories for the writers to kind of do. But the series does feature something of a consistent narrative. Past events are frequently mentioned. Remember the time Homer was space, and the rare times major characters often do die, like Maude and Edna Krabappel. Those deaths were permanent. Recent seasons have even featured 2 flash forward episodes that were connected, and none have delved as far into the future as The Stranger Things, which is 35 years later. Obviously, since The Simpsons' future episodes are all speculative fantasies, they're all different every time. Selman told Variety. Marge will probably never be dead again. The only place Marge is dead is in one future episode that aired 6 weeks ago. Fans have been debating whether A Stranger Things was canon. The series' fan wiki, for example, currently includes a warning that the episode is likely non-canon, as it is set outside the Simpsons' usual time setting. Perhaps fans will now need to reconsider whether this warning is even necessary if the show's own makers are stating that the Simpsons canon does not exist. So, they had an episode that took place in the future, and in that future, Marge was dead, so they was telling the story of that. And a lot of people just kind of were shocked, surprised, and wondered if they were saying anything, like if at some point Marge within the main series was going to die. And they're like, no, guys, it's not canon. These future episodes don't really mean anything in terms of like the overall timeline of the series or anything. So it was just something we did for this one episode, so don't trip about it. I mean, the fact that they made it the final episode though does feel like it was kind of meant to say something. But have Simpsons final season finales ever really meant anything? Y'all let me know. So yeah, like I mentioned, not too much to talk about on the TV side, as that is it for the TV side. And now, of course, we are going to get into trailers, which is, of course, as usual, where I bid my audio listeners goodbye. If you're on the audio realm, leave your boy a review, leave him a rating, let him know how he's doing. Help the podcast, get up in listeners and viewership and a little popularity, little help, that ain't hurt, that ain't nothing. Oh shit! Look at what just got added 3 hours ago, literally like an hour before I started, 2 hours before I started recording. Look, we got added college football. Oh shit, we ain't looking at that shit. All right, but yeah, this is it for the audio portion. Thank you so much for listening. I very much do appreciate it. Check out some of the rest of the stuff. Pop on over to YouTube if you're interested in some of the trailers we're going to watch. All that good stuff. So, audio listeners, I will see you all next time. Always remember to keep watching, to keep playing, to stay awesome, and most importantly, to stay safe out there. Till next time, everybody, I will speak to you all later. Goodbye. But if, of course, you are within the YouTube spectrum, we are going to watch some trailers here. So, let's get busy on that. Should I change my screen? What y'all think? Should we change the screen up? Or should we keep it the way it is? Let's run with it. Let's run this one. This is what I do for my reviews or the reactions. So we're gonna have it like this here. Okay, that's on. That's good. All right, first up we have Project Hail Mary, which is a new movie from Amazon. Actually, before we record, I'm gonna go refill my water real quick. I'll be right back. All right, we back. All right, hey y'all, I just saw they just released a track list for that new Clips album. Boy, that shit finna be raw, boy. That shit finna be some fire. Hip hop is healing, everybody. Hip hop's healing. But we ain't gonna talk about that. Maybe if your boy can get enough of a following, maybe we start branching out into other some shit. You know, we can have some hip hop conversations. Maybe because some of these niggas is dumb and fake. It ain't real fans. But that's beside the point. Let's get on into these trailers here, shall we? We got Project Hail Mary. This is from Amazon that stars Ryan Gosling. Let's check this bad boy out here. Play it. I'm gonna check my levels.
Please state your name.
Ryland Grace. I spoke up from a coma. I'm several light years from my apartment. And I'm not an astronaut. I'm not an astronaut. I'm not an astronaut.
If you don't go, you die. With the rest of us.
The sun is dying.
You are the only scientist who might know what this says.
I'm just a teacher at Grover Cleveland Middle.
You have a doctorate in molecular biology. I need you to come with us. This is Project Hail Mary. The sun is not the only star dying. Every star was infected by its neighbor, except one.
Why?
We don't know. Which is why we built a ship to go there and find out.
It's 11.9 light years away. The astronauts die in space.
It's what you Americans would call a long shot.
Hail Mary. I get it. Who on earth is going to sign up for this?
If we do
Hey, is that
nothing,
Ken Jeong? Oh shit.
everything on this planet will go extinct.
You'll find a solution.
You are my solution.
I know her too.
I put
Can't
the
remember her
knot
name.
in astronaut. I've never done anything. I've never done a space. I can't even moonwalk.
Is that nigga? Is that L Boy? Shout outs to L Boy taking off on the active front, boy. I remember that nigga back in them. Remember that nigga back in them Odd Future days, motherfucking Lionel L Boy back in the Loiter Squad days. Shouts out to him taking off on the active shit, boy. By the way, the girl I think is the chick who used to do the progressive commercials. I think that's her.
I understand the stakes. I do. My place is in the classroom.
The world is counting on you.
This might be
Oh,
really hard
shit!
for you
Phil
to
Miller?
understand. But some people are not good at things.
You know who you are. You're gonna do great.
I conquered zero G in 5 hours.
Object approaching.
Oh my God. So, I met an alien. He's kind of growing on me. At least he's not growing in me, you know, which was a concern for a little while. I'm Grace. I'm gonna call you Rocky. Thumbs up. No, that's thumbs down. You would do the thumbs up. It's close enough.
Oh, it's coming out next year. I'm not gonna lie. I was slightly like uninterested. You know, it was like, okay, it's a movie that's like, kind of a little bit of a little movie. I ain't gonna say nerdy, but it was definitely like, it seems to be more of like a science drama thing. And I was like, okay, it's something, And then it kept playing, and it looked cooler and cooler. And then I found out fucking Phil Lord and Chris Miller directed this bitch. And I'm big fans of Phil Lord and Chris Miller. If y'all don't know, it says it on there. They did the damn Spider-Verse movies. I think it also said this is based off a book, and it's a book that was this author who did The Martian. Yeah, which was another like kind of a weird sci-fi movie that I didn't think I would end up liking as much as I liked it, but I liked it. This shit looks really cool. Sixth grade teacher, One Chance to Save Us All. Based on Andy Weir's New York best-selling novel starring Academy Award nominee Ryan Gosling. Directed by Phil Lord and Chris Miller. It comes out March 20th, 2026, next year. I'm actually interested in this one. This actually looks pretty damn good. So, all right, so that's Project Hail Mary. Up next we have, I don't even know how to say this shit. Bugonia? Bugonia? Have I shrank? Because I feel like my chair is fucking as usual. If it had me fighting his ass. Oh, God damn it. Shit'll be fine all day, and then the very moment you decide to start doing some stuff is when shit starts not in one. Is when shit starts decides it does not want to work. All right, we back. Begonia.
It all starts with something magnificent.
That's Jesse Plemons.
A flower, then a honeybee.
Yeah, it is.
The workers gather pollen for the queen.
Good morning, Corey.
But the bees, they're dying.
Hey, yeah,
And that's the way they planned it. To make us the same as the bees.
Let's go again.
But it is not in control anymore. We are.
Sometimes I give myself the creeps. Sometimes my mind plays tricks on me. It all keeps adding up. I think I'm lucky up. In my chest mirror.
How can you tell she's an alien?
Well, the signs are obvious. It all starts with something magnificent.
Okay, I'll admit I have no idea what to make of that. Begonia, Yorgos Lanthimos film, starring Emma Stone, Jesse Plemons, Aiden Delbis, Stavros Howlett, and Alicia Silverstone this October. I think Yorgos and Emma, they've done. I think Poor Things was called. It had it on there. They worked together before. Two conspiracy-obsessed young men kidnap a high-powered CEO of a major company, convinced that she is an alien intent on destroying planet Earth. I gotta see more. I ain't finna write it off yet, or anything. But we'll see. Maybe I gotta see. Maybe if I see his previous work, I might have a different opinion if his shit's good. Which seems like it is. I feel like all of this shit is involved in like when award season rolls around. So we'll see. All right, next up is how funny. Downton Abbey, the grand finale. I don't know shit about this. I just seen the trailer was there, so let's check it out.
It's hard to accept that it's time to go. Your friendship has never been more important to all of us. But the future of Downton Abbey is now in Mary's hands.
He will be a sensation.
Lady Mary.
Great production design. Is that Judy Greer?
I'm very sorry. I shouldn't have come.
I love when I watch trailers and I see somebody I know and I'm like, oh, is that such and such? Because I'm like, Nice production design on this bitch, though.
This really is the night that shook the world.
That is what's happened. Now you must just get on with it.
What about her running Downton? Don't you want her in command?
The world is changing. The way we talk, the way we dress, the way we deal with each other.
Surely you're entitled to have some fun.
Oh, that guy. Don't know his name. He was in that fucking... He played the Rhino in the fucking trash-ass Kraven the Hunter.
Welcome back, my brother. Cora. The news is bad.
Of course, we all know Paul Giamatti.
Hal's made a real mess of things, hasn't he?
How do you not know Paul
What
Giamatti?
this means for Downton. You look back and think about all the changes you've witnessed.
You're the daughter I never had.
I'll treasure those words.
Families like ours must keep moving to survive. And all of your support is more important to me than I can say.
If Mama were alive, what would she do?
Long live Downton Abbey.
Avengers
Amen
ass
to
music.
that.
Downton Abbey. Now, I don't know shit about Downton Abbey, but I know people are fucking obsessed with this show. It used to be a show, but I think they're finishing them off in movies now. Downton Abbey, grand finale in theaters September 12th. The cinematic return of the global phenomenon follows the Crawley family and their staff as they enter the 1930s. When Mary finds herself at the center of a public scandal and the family faces financial trouble, the entire household grapples with the threat of social disgrace. The Crawleys must embrace change as the staff prepares for a new chapter with the next generation leading Downton Abbey into the future. Again, like I said, I don't know shit about this show. I know people are fucking, like, obsessed with it, though. But hey, there you go. More power to you. It ain't for me. It ain't for me. It ain't my cup of tea. All right, next up we have Troll 2. Again, don't know shit about this, but I just saw the trailer that just came out, so we shall watch it. It's like a Norwegian movie or something.
Har du funnet noe mer?
Why do I know that music? December 1st, Troll 2. I like how I like how it's just basically like the Norwegian answer to like fucking Godzilla and King Kong. It seems like it's just giant fucking monsters who have to fight. Oh my, yeah. Gotta be better than the other Troll 2. Oh my god. They're eating her. Oh god. And then they're gonna eat me. Oh my god. Okay, that's it for movie channels. We'll move on to video games. We have the Ghost of Yotei Collector's Edition trailer. In-game mask, got some avatar, got some dies, got an armor set, sword kit, horse saddle, the ghost mask. Hopefully my horse doesn't fucking die in this one. Oh, is that a real one? Oh, okay, I think those are like physical things. Art cards. Okay, that's pretty cool. I think these things seem to be all physical things. Like all this shit seems to be physical things. So that's cool. But the most important thing, let's go with it. Let's see at the end here. Does it include the fucking game in the collector's edition? Final design and specifications stuff that's changed. Available via voucher code, internet account. Pre-order. Okay, this is pre-order content. The game and the avatars. All this comes in the collector's edition. Full game digital only. Digital content. Bro, is this yet another fucking collector's edition that doesn't actually have the goddamn game in it? That seems to be what they point at. Because this is the digital stuff that you get if you get it digitally. There you go. But there you go. Some cool stuff in there. I don't really mess with collector's editions unless it's a game I really fucking like. Kume Aztec. I don't know what the fuck this is, but let's check it out.
It's not always easy having a hot wife.
Bitch. I'll just fucking add shit on here. When the gods demand blood.
No piltsi no mo miki yachto nehwatl u jahjatsetepa.
You must choose to run or rise.
Omete omea kishkenta kuilowanto ok.
That fucking climate animation was ugly as hell. This man just took out a man in full armor with a damn club. Yeah. No, thank you. What is this? The Midnight Walkers cinematic trailer. Okay. Music pretty nice. Bitch, is this a fucking home workout simulator game? What the fuck? Fucking minute and a half in this shit. I don't even know what this game is. Hey, but good news, guys. They got a white male protagonist, so it ain't woke. Oh my god, bitch. Is this a BR? Is this a fucking Battle Royale game? Oh, okay. Okay, we got some co-op. It's like a fucking zombie survival, like, extraction game. Oh my god, it is. The Midnight Walkers. It seems like it's a extraction game. It's like midnight, you go down, you go into this big fucking like killing floor thing that's filled with zombies. You fight through the zombies, you get a bunch of loot, and then when the time comes, you got to get back to the extraction point and go up. Is that exactly what this is? Midnight Walkers, but it tells a heck of a story. Check out which is upcoming first-person shooter melee combat zombie horror game on Steam if you're interested. Okay, it doesn't really say. It doesn't say. But yeah, that's kind of what it seems. That's what it seems like we're getting so far, to me at least. All right, next up we have Mecha Break Season 0 trailer. Season 0, Reign of Fire. This is so fucking random. I know in that last trailer, I know this old boy woke up an hour and 15 before he had to do that shit. Man, ain't go to the bathroom, ain't brush his teeth, ain't eat nothing. Man, just woke up, smoked a cig, did some pull-ups and some push-ups, and was ready to go. My God. Peak male performance. It seems like a game that has a lot of shit going on. Like, my old ass would get confused real quick. Looks cool, though. This motherfucking robot just get on top of a bigger robot and pilot that big-ass robot. Customization. I would hope so. Okay. Get our Evangelion on. Global launch on July 1st. Okay. That's a little Mecha Break game. Mecha Break. All right, that was it for video games. I move on to some TV trailers. Hip Hop Was Born here on Paramount Plus.
Damn.
Stand clear of the closing doors, please.
That corner right there, that's where Cool Herc used to set up his equipment.
He used to set up in that corner.
Yep.
You saying hip-hop went worldwide from right here? That's crazy. To understand the power.
The fuck Peyton Manning know what the fuck Peyton Manning know about hip hop? What the fuck?
To understand the power of hip-hop today, you gotta go back to where it all started. New York City.
Yep. Cool Herc was a DJ set.
New York in the 70s,
planning them house parties.
There was so much joy around this.
Everything in New York was hip-hop. You couldn't stop the movement.
I had never seen nothing like that before. And I know I want to be a part of it.
What does the word legacy mean to you? Legacy.
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 Ooh.
What is my legacy?
I gave birth to most of them MCs. That's my legacy.
Oh, that's the spirit.
Hold on, let's see what we got. Let's see what we got in this joint. DJ Marley Marl, Big Daddy Kane, Salt, Meth, Fat Joe, Rev Run, Lady London, Grandmaster Caz, Jadakiss, Chic Loke, Fabio Foreign, Bimmy, Roxanne Shante, Dougie Fresh, Chris Kane.
They used to bring turntables out on the front step.
The energy permeated the whole neighborhood.
The next thing you know, I became DJ Run.
Oh.
This was our music. This was how we were able to communicate from borough to borough.
They cut the music program in most of the urban schools.
Hip-hop provided an outlet for storytelling.
I want to impact not only my generation, but the generation before me, the generation after me.
Who would ever think that we could be world famous doing something that we love? I would have never imagined that.
Stand clear of the doors, please.
Okay, that's dope. Now, if y'all clearly didn't know about when I mentioned about the Clips album before we watched these trailers, massive hip hop head right here. I'm a massive hip hop fan. And one thing I always like is like when I get into something, I like to go into the history of it. So like, and like look at like just like the storylines. I think everything has a storyline, even if it's not anything you think is typically just a story. But everything has a story. Everything has a storyline. So I always love that, especially hip hop. Netflix has a really good documentary. I forget what the fuck it's called because it's been so long. Hip hop history or hip hop generations or something, where they kind of talk about the evolution of hip hop and everything. But the Netflix one, they go into like where it started with in New York, but they go around the country. So they go into when it spread to the West Coast and the birth of West Coast and gangster rap and G-Funk, to when it started down in the South and the rise of Outkast in Atlanta and bringing the hip hop sound to the South, to the Midwest and to Louisiana with the rise of Lil Wayne and Young and Cash Money and all that stuff. This will seem like it's going to be solely focused on New York hip hop, which I'm not mad about. I just wonder how much can it differentiate itself from that documentary. I will say one thing is right off the bat, I will say this nigga got Rev Run to come out the house to do this, because I never see this nigga involved in things like this too much, unless it's like real high profile shit like this. So I feel like having LL being a part of that really helped get this man to come out. But it's cool. I'll check it out. Like I said, I love just watching and hearing about just the history of hip hop, because you know I'm an actual hip hop fan. So there you go. All right, America's Team, the Gambler, and his Cowboys.
The road to a championship is never paved smoothly. It's always paved with peaks and valleys.
This is a soap opera 365 days a year.
Texas
true.
is football country. The hole in Texas Stadium so God could watch his favorite team, the Cowboys.
When I bought the team, I was Darth Vader.
Dallas fans aren't happy.
Last year, they were 1-15.
I said, Dad, I don't know anything about running a football team. And he looked me in the eye and he said, neither do I.
We were gambling my family's whole fortune, so I had to take risks. And it started with Jimmy Johnson.
You part of this, Chris? Asthma, Mike. Get over there on that other field and have some asthma.
And he made practice hell, so the game is heaven. We were ready.
Showtime.
All of a sudden, it was a runaway train.
Oh, baby!
Everywhere we went, they were icons.
We played hard, and then we played hard.
With that success, you also get disruption.
Police officer came to me, and they pulled the gun. Open the door right now!
Jerry is that disruptor, that innovator.
You're not much of a gambler unless you're going against the popular trend.
No one ever thought Jerry had the guts to fire Jimmy. You don't know half the stuff that was happening. Playing for the Cowboys is different.
The most valuable sports franchise in the world.
No matter what they say, they can't prepare you. You just got to experience it.
And the only thing else I got to say is, how about
Come out them Cowboys!
We do it our way, baby.
Now, see, again, I'm always interested in the history. I'm always interested in the storylines that take place with some things. I've recently started watching a lot more NFL football. Still not heavily. It still ain't touching the NBA for me. But I have been watching it a lot more these last couple seasons. I do know one of the biggest things is the fact that the Cowboys were dominant at this time. The team we're talking about here, they were dominant there, but like since then they've been ass. And one of the funniest things is how... And one of the funniest things is Cowboys fans are just always excited for the season, and then they underperform, and they just become the butt of the jokes. So I know I know about that, but yeah, I don't know too much about when they were at the heyday, like back then. Like I always ask my mom, my grandmother, and my uncle. They're not massive football fans. They're massive Packers fans because from Wisconsin. So they're massive Packers fans, and they all fucking hate the Cowboys. And I always wondered, I was like, why do y'all hate the Cowboys so much? And like they just tell me, I was like, oh, they just loud, and they just cocky, and they just arrogant, and they just won every time. So I always wondered, just like, what was it about this team that just made them hate them so much? It seemed like, God's favorite team, and anybody outside Dallas wasn't really fuck with the Cowboys. So like, again, I'm interested in this. I'd actually watch this because again, it's history and the storylines and all that shit that I'm actually interested in. All right, and I think this is our last TV trailer, Washington Black. We talked about this, I think, in literally is either the last one or the one before that. We talked about how Sterling K. Brown got the TV series Washington Black picked up by Hulu. And we have our first official trailer for it, so let's check it out.
Welcome to Halifax. Last stop on the Underground Railroad. Everybody step off with their own story. Boy, do I got one for you.
It's always got to be one, right? It's always got to be one, right? You got can't get right in life. You just had smoke and sinners. You always got to get one. Always got to get that one. Falls under that Snow Bunny mind control. You fucking Dule Hill from Holes. You always got to get one that just falls into the Snow Bunny mind control.
Boy, do I got one for you. A story about a young man and the boy he used to be.
Tell me your name.
George Washington Black.
How did you do that? He's a clever one, isn't he? You're going to be working with me from here on out. We must leave. Do you understand? It is time to fly.
Big fella come in on the ferry looking for a black man. George Washington Black.
We're both dreamers. Can't we dream up a different world? I've been passing as a white woman.
Your marriage to McGee is vital to our survival. A young woman would burn down the world to find you.
Death can't frighten us.
He ain't gonna leave till the job is done. You are the job.
Surrender to no one.
Only way black folk gonna climb this mountain is if we pull each other along. This just ain't his story. It's our story.
I'm going to change the world.
And that's what you're gonna do.
I don't know why. Maybe it's the period piece combined with the music. This is giving me like fucking Liberty Kids vibes. Y'all remember Liberty Kids, the little fucking animated show about the three kids going to like historical, historical parts in history, just major moments in history in the past. I don't know why. This is giving me like straight up Liberty Kids vibes. Also, nobody got called a nigga, so I don't know how I feel about it. So I feel like it's not the historical accuracy is a little off. What did it say? July what? It's coming pretty soon. It's coming this month. Oh, July 23rd. Okay. Hulu and Disney Plus. All right, so based on the best-selling novel by the same name, Washington Black follows the 19th century odyssey of George Washington Wash Black, an 11-year-old boy born on Barbados sugar plantation whose prodigious scientific mind sets him on the path of unexpected destiny. When a harrowing incident forces Wash to flee, he is thrust into a globe-spanning adventure that challenges and reshapes his understanding of family, freedom, and love. All episodes streaming on June 23rd. Okay. So yeah, let's keep it. I feel like this is a very quick turnaround. Maybe the announcement came when it was already shooting shit too. So, that was that. All right, but that is it for our trailers, and that is the end of this episode. Only an hour and 40 minutes. I feel like that was kind of breezy. But yeah, thank you all so much for watching. I very much appreciate it. We back with the news drops. I know I've been pretty quiet here for like the last 2 weeks. But we've been working on some stuff. I really kind of got some stuff shot. So we got this. We got more episodes of Dragon Age coming up. We got more episodes of South of Midnight coming up. I actually finished South of Midnight. So we got the finale that'll be coming up in the next 2 weeks or so. Also, finally shot the Digimon video. Also shot the next our first one of the I Just Played series, which is like my thing of like my little review and impressions of video games. So I did that on Expedition 33. So those will be coming up pretty soon. So I did record some things. I got some things done. So we will be back in the next 2 weeks or so, uploading things and of that nature. And of course, starting the week off with, of course, our news drop here. So thank you all so much for watching. I very much do appreciate it. Feel free to check out the rest of the stuff on the channel if you want to, and if you can. And if you feel so inclined, feel free to subscribe to the channel. Get in on the ground floor. Help your boy out. Don't let the black man fail. We just seen George Washington Black is there, man. Black George Washington. So, hey, we feeling it right now. So, but yeah, so that is it for this episode of News Drop. Thank you all so much for watching. So everybody always remember to stay watching, to stay playing, to stay awesome, and most importantly, to stay safe out there. Until next time, everybody, I will speak to you all later. Good